I really want to get a head start and clean the apartment before we move in. Of course you do. I already saw some fruit flies in the cabinet stall, so stop complaining. Oh my Lanta. Do not mess with them. I need you to help me catch them. Gross. Who raised you? Oh mother. You always support me with my education, so can you please help me catch these flies so I can do an in-house experiment? Fine, Del. Professor QM, I found some fruit flies and was wondering if I could get leftover materials to conduct an in-house experiment of my own. Also, if the lab is free, can I use some fly nap and sex my flies? That sounds cool. I think I can help you get some of that stuff and some fly nap for today, but you won't have enough to run your experiment. Thank you, that will do. These babies are so knocked out by the fly nap that I can finally look at them through the dissecting microscope. Haha, I know what's up with these flies. Can't wait for Mom to see them. Bless be Amazon's 2-day shipping. I got fly nap. What is up with you? If this is about the fruit flies, can you tell me what I'm supporting you with exactly? Yes. We did an experiment in school where we looked at fruit flies. We mated them in order to see which traits they would inherit from their parents. Now I want to do the same thing with these ones. Why fruit flies though? Out of all other organisms used in research. Because fruit flies have been studied since the 20th century when this guy Thomas Hunt Morgan developed a strain of white-eyed Drosophila when their normal color is red. By the way, Drosophila melanogaster is the fly's scientific name. White eyes. That's cool. So do they keep using them to study genetics because the guy got them to have white eyes? No. It's because they are inexpensive, small, and easy to keep in any environment. Because of these reasons they're a model organism. Whatever. So if you're going to compare the flies to us humans, there must be something similar there. You're right. Flies only have 4 chromosomes and we have 46 total. Their DNA genome is very similar to ours. So can you tell me about all the crazy genetic terms so I understand how to do this? Of course, Mom. So genes are what I inherited from you and Dad to make me so unique. Of course you got your best genes from me then. Inherited as in passed down to you, right? Yes, Mom. Genes of alleles, which are 2 or more alternative forms of a gene. Alleles can be dominant or recessive for a trait. Dominant traits are expressed physically like you passing down impulse to me. But recessive is a trait I could have gotten from you, but I don't show it physically like your widow's peak. I don't have one. Alleles of 2 letters will have 1 or 2 uppercase letters and recessive will have 2 lowercase letters. So looking for eye color. What are we looking for in terms of alleles? They can be homozygous where the 2 letters are either lowercase or uppercase. For alleles with 1 uppercase and another lowercase letter we will have heterozygous flies. These are then used as genotypes for the flies such as homozygous dominant, homozygous recessive and heterozygous dominant. This is in order to determine their phenotype, the trait that will be expressed physically by the flies. We can predict what the offspring will look like with a Punnett square before letting our flies mate. This tool uses the parent's alleles to predict the ratio of the offspring with white eyes or red eyes. Now, do you want to make up a hypothesis for the experiment? Oh yes. Okay, we are going to put the fruit flies to sleep with fly nap, so we can look at them under a magnifying glass and see if there is anything cool about them. These flies are your P generation. P is in parents. Yes. Shut the front door. If my eyesight is any good, I think I saw white-eyed flies and some with red eyes too. No. The red-eyed are wild-type flies, also known as the boring ones. White-eyed flies are mutated. Also, the darker the butts of the flies means they are males and lighter butts are females. Now they will mate and give us an F1 progeny. We are calling white-eyed flies beaver baddies. You're lame. Beaver baddies. All females in the P generation are white-eyed. So my hypothesis is that roles are going to reverse and the males will have white eyes and females will have red eyes. Why is that your hypothesis? Because since we get half the genes from Mom and the other half from Dad, at some point males will inherit the gene for the white-eyed trait. Okay, we will write our observations down and now we can put the flies in one vial so they can mate. Make sure to put the foam cover on, Mom. You tend to forget things a lot now. Also, please use a fine paintbrush to grab them. Don't use your sausage fingers. We have to fill the vial with food. For our pea generation, so we are adding 1 capful of instant Drosophila medium, 1 capful of water and 5 flakes of yeast. Professor QM gave me leftover material from the labs. Now we wait to get an F1 progeny. Later we will mate the F1 with each other and get an F2 progeny. Then see what happens with our cool white eyes mutation. It's been a week since the mating of the fruit flies. No more waiting. We are going to take out the pea generation from the vial and place them in a fly morgue. This will leave ethanol and kill them so there is no back crossing between the pea generation and the F1 progeny. Oh my Lanta. Insist. Gross. Let's get to it then. Their food looks dry. Is that okay? Good observation, Mom. You can add a very small amount of water when necessary. Okay, so the pea generation is in the fly morgue. Now we wait another week. Yes, Ma, because they are still in larvae form. Time to look at our F1 progeny from the vial. I'm going to add some FlyNap and wait 10 minutes to see if they inherited the mutation or not. You're going to love this. Oh. I count 114 males with white eyes and none with red eyes. Yes, Ma, and there are no females with white eyes but a total of 111 with wild-type red eyes. So your hypothesis was correct for this progeny. Right, because all the males are now cool white-eyed studs and the females have red eyes. Exactly. This can mean the mutation is sex-linked. In other words, the mutation is found on the X chromosome. The X chromosome is the female chromosome, right? Correct. Now we let these cool boys mate with the gals to give us an F2 progeny. How is your in-house experiment coming along? Great. I have a feeling our mutation for white eyes is sex-linked, that we are clearing the F1 progeny tonight, so we must wait another week for our F2 progeny. Your mom must be enjoying this. Good luck with your results tonight. I have been waiting for this moment. Let me use the FlyNap this time. Mom, it's been 7 long days, so let's look at the F2 progeny. After putting the flies to sleep with FlyNap, I counted them with the magnifying glass and there are 37 red-eyed females and 18 with white eyes. There are 31 males with wild-type red eyes and 30 with cool white eye mutation. Insanity. The mutation for white eyes is dominant to having red eyes because it is found in all the progenies. It is also X-linked as there are no females with white eyes in the F1 progeny but some in the F2 progeny. By the way, I am proud of this because at school we used dissecting microscopes to keep score of the fruit flies and here we only used a magnifying glass. The mother carries the mutant gene and that is why all of the males inherited the white eyes trait because it is recessive, B. So then dad is the one giving the wild-type red eyes that their daughters will inherit because it is a dominant trait in us females of 2 X chromosomes. So we have better chances of not inheriting the mutant trait. Yes, and in a Punnett square that will be shown as allele uppercase B. This relates to genetics in that fruit flies have 75% of the genes that cause disease with humans, so now we can learn about our genetics from experiments like this one. And we also know the mode of inheritance for the eyes of fruit flies and we can compare that to how we inherit our traits. Absolutely, Mom. Ready for round 2? Oh my Lanta. Not in this house.